What is going down, sourdough squad? It is time to mock. We are 3 weeks away from the NFL draft, which means it's time to just start mock drafting like crazy and catch up to speed with what we think the San Francisco 49ers are going to do. So, what we are going to do is we are going to do a mock draft live right now. Let's get into it. Let's go. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. Shout out all the sourdough squad. We see the bread gang, aka gluten gang, in the building. Shout out to all the SDS. Man, y'all gotta leave. Y'all gotta leave Trey alone, man. dude. I know you guys seen it. The picture of Trey Lance, that was circulating with Patrick Mahomes, and you got a nice glimpse at the hairline. Dang. Y'all roasted Trey, man. Sheesh. That was crazy. But we are here to mock draft. Oh man, he's still going in the chat. Dude, you guys are crazy. But again, no real news. It's definitely kind of the calm before the storm in regards to the NFL draft. So we're just trying to get all our evaluations. I'm still watching tape. I was watching the Illinois defense this morning, trying to get a better feel for some of the players on their squad. I still got a lot of work to do, but this is part of the process, trying to get an understanding of the value, where the board potentially could fall, and see if how that works for the San Francisco 49ers and where those needs potentially kind of align. So this is actually going to be our first time doing this is our second live mock draft, but it's the first time since they've updated the board. So if you guys have watched my previous mock drafts or heard me talk about mock drafts, I'm using the Pro Football Focus simulator. I haven't been in love with their rankings. Their rankings have been all over the place, and they finally updated them. And I apologize if I start coughing. My allergies are out of control. Obviously, it's beautiful here in the Bay Area in California. It's starting to dry up a little bit, but that means my allergies are going crazy. So I apologize if you hear me sniffling and all that kind of stuff. But let's hop into it right now. And you already know what to do. Do me a solid, smash that like button, and let's get into the mock draft. So this is how I'm going to do the mock draft today. Last time it was like a fan mock draft, so it was really a ton of feedback from the chat. We try to basically get through what we determined were going to be the positional kind of rankings, how we thought that would play out. And then I would look to the chat, and then we'd drop who we'd want, which you can still do, by the way. You can still put who the 49ers should take, who I should take. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run with this. I'm going to hop into the mock draft, and we're going to see how it plays out. And I'm just going to cook. Y'all can cook me if you don't like the pick. And all that good stuff. But basically, that's how we're going to do it. I'm just going to go down the board. We're going to see how it might be ugly. It might be beautiful, but we're going to find out. And because all my mock drafts have had trade ups, I've been trading up in all my mocks. This particular mock, because the rankings have been updated from PFF, I'm just going to run it. I'm just going to do all the picks that we have originally. I'm not going to do any trades. because I can guarantee that this will not be our last mock draft. We will definitely be doing more mocks. So for this particular one, I'm going to stay put and let's just cook through from start to finish and see how it plays out. So they got this new turbo mode, so we don't got to wait at all. So we're just going to hop right into it. So let's get back. Let's get on the clock at pick 99. Let's see who's available. Who's going to be there? Oh, all the guys went. So guys that I've kind of been targeting here, Blake Freeland, obviously big fan of Blake Freeland, especially at this value out of BYU, offensive tackle. He goes at 97. So right before the San Francisco 49ers. Quan Martin is a guy that I've been watching this morning. He gives me some Jimmy Ward vibes, the ability to play safety and also nickel. Sydney Brown, I know Justin's been high on Sydney. I'm watching Sydney as well to try to get an idea. For these two guys, I mean, one of them is your deep middle type safety in Martin, who I profile him more as a safety, less as a nickel. He has the ability to play in the nickel. I mean, he could honestly play either position. But when you look at Brown, he's like an in the box guy. He almost has like nickel linebacker ability, even though he's only 5'9". I do like Brown and the way that he guards tight ends so far from what I've seen. And he does seem to get his nose dirty. Still trying to get a good sense of him in coverage. But you can see a lot of the boys. Isaiah McGuire, dude, hopping up boards. I think one of the craziest things about this particular ranking is that Isaiah McGuire has went from like kind of that 115 100 range to now he's in the early 60s. And Byron Young, who I would have anticipated kind of having that type of rise after his combine performance, because his tape looks pretty good as well. But the combine performance, he really tested through the roof and really showed off his athletic traits really, really well. I thought Byron was going to be the one that ultimately jumped up. But I mean, I see you, Justin. Justin's been high on Isaiah from the jump, and all Isaiah has done is went in the wrong direction for the San Francisco 49ers. So unless they're looking for a trade up, and I mean, you've got Cody Mock going 55, which I've taken Cody. I traded up into I think it was the mid 70s to take Cody in one of my mocks. I think it was mock draft 2.0. But I mean, you can see the rankings are starting to kind of fall in line a little bit better with what I anticipated. So that leaves the San Francisco 49ers with a tough choice here because you have some quality tackles. I still think if you're the 49ers, you have to go tackle pretty early on in this draft. I don't really say early on with one of your first three picks, 99, 101, 102, if you're not going to trade up. So with this particular pick, I'm really looking at two particular tackles that I think are kind of in the same category. Yeah, you could even say three tackles. Tyler Steen, Jalen Duncan, Nick Saldiveri. So as you guys know, if you follow me on Twitter or here or wherever, Nick Saldiveri was my first draft crush of the season. This was the first guy that organically jumped off the tape to me. It happened while watching the Senior Bowl game. And Nick Saldiveri was the first player this year for me that really stood out and became the first official draft crush of the year. You can see he was going in the 7th round in these previous mocks, you can see how far his rankings have been adjusted. He's now at 128. I still think Nick Saldiveri is a 75 to a 100 type player, but you can see he's gotten a ton more respect. The guys who do offensive line grading and rankings have all put Nick Saldiveri in the third round range. So even though I've taken Nick Saldiveri in the seventh, and I've taken him as high as the fifth, my original thought process on Saldiveri is correct. He is going to go around pick 100. So he could be an option right here for the San Francisco 49ers. And I would absolutely take him. But I'm going to go in a little bit of a different route because, as you know, I'm already huge on Nick Saldiveri, and I'll take him eventually again. But I'm gonna take a guy that I haven't taken yet, and that I've had has been really intriguing to me watching on tape, and that's Jalen Duncan. So Jalen Duncan, you can see, had a pretty solid first 2 years based on sacks given up, hurries given up, and quarterback hits. You can see this past year kind of dipped a little bit, gave up the most sacks he's ever given up and hurries by quite a large margin. But one of the things that you look at with Jalen Duncan is his 6'6" body frame, 306, really solid bend. Like when you're talking about athletes, he's a good athlete. So at his size, this is a guy that I want to take. Like there are about 3 tackle options that I really like, and Jalen Duncan is definitely in that category. And this is another guy that stood out to me at the Senior Bowl during one-on-one drills. And again, I like the traits. His traits are fantastic. You know, you get excited about Trent Williams and his traits. Jalen Duncan has some pretty nice traits. So I like what he brings to the table. I feel like he could be uh, instant day one swing tackle at minimum. He comes in and competes at right tackle. He could potentially shift back to left tackle if Trent Williams ever retires, or he could just post up at right tackle. I like that right now. So again, I still feel pretty adamant about the San Francisco 49ers going after a tackle. Could absolutely trade up to go get one of these guys. Uh, but if they are available, I'll be 100% clear. I wouldn't be shocked if Jalen Duncan isn't here. I could definitely see a tackle run going and the San Francisco 49ers having to trade up to try to get one of these guys unless a Nick Saldiveri kind of falls in their lap. Mike, is my mic not working? Check, check. Thumbs up if my mic is working. Let me know in a chat because I don't want to keep talking if the mic isn't working. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. We're good. All right. So now, again, still kind of new to the new kind of setup here. I'm still skeptical of Byron Young being here. I really am. Uh, again, I don't. We're going off PFF's rankings, so this isn't the gospel, right? We're not looking at PFF as the end all be all in regards to these evaluations, but it's a nice baseline, and especially the mock draft tool, super fun to work with. But Byron Young, also another guy, Keon White. This is a guy who's been mocked as high as the first round. and he's a guy that I started to look into, but then I kind of backed off. Um, so like heading into the Senior Bowl, he was starting to get some buzz, so I wanted to take a look, and he's still here. Now, he's not I would say he's more of a plug and play run defender first. He has the ability to rush the passer. It's not like his go-to. And as you guys know, I am looking for kind of a rusher off the edge first. I can backfill, base down edge and stuff like that. So I'm still kind of looking at more of the prototypical edge, and that kinda has me back at Byron. Even though Byron was in my first mock, and I mocked him because I thought he was gonna continue to move up, but I don't know if it's the age, I don't know if it's the size, being 6'2", a little bit, shorter, and being 25 already. If that has anything to do with these particular rankings. Um, but those are kind of two guys that I'm looking at. Obviously, the San Francisco 49ers need to get safety as well. JL Skinner is available, but this is also where I'm looking at safety. Is with safety is I'm looking for coverage guy. And although I like JL Skinner a lot, he to me profiles as an in the box safety, and when I look at Talanoa Hufanga, I look at Talanoa Hufanga as an in the box safety. He has coverage ability, but I'm looking for more coverage first on the back end. So these are the kind of thought processes that I'm working through. Again, I like Jair Brown a lot. I would pick Jair Brown here. I would, and I've done it before, but that's why I'm not going to. Um, Jair Brown is to me a complete safety. Uh, can do it in coverage, can do it in the run game. Physical. He'll even come off the edge. Uh, I like Jair Brown a lot, but like I said, I've already taken him. Christopher Smith is another guy that is intriguing to me. I've done a little bit into him, haven't done the full study yet. Um, 5'11", 192, going to be 23 pretty soon. But he fits that role of kind of a back end safety. So multiple options here to choose from. But I kind of am being pulled towards the edge because I want the edge. I want Byron, but I've also taken Byron. So I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go a little different today. And you can roast me for picking a terrible mock draft, but I'm gonna mess with it. I'm gonna go a little bit outside of my comfort zone and just kind of mess around. So because of that and kind of working through this, man, there's so many good options. There's so many good options, and I don't think they're going to come back around. I don't think they're going to come back around. So let's try this out. All right. So I'm already stumping myself. I want to go right here. God, I want to go Byron. I do. I want to go Byron. I want to go Byron, but I can't because I've already done it. Viliame Junior Fehoko is a great option. I mean, look at the production that this guy put up at SJSU. He's got really good size. He has definitely the ability to translate. His size will definitely translate to the San Francisco 49ers being able to play him over the guard. So You would think that I'm, like, actually drafting for the San Francisco 49ers, but I'm not. But that's, like, the type of, like, serious nature that we like to play with. So, we got Jalen Duncan, tackle, fill that role. Looking at potential next needs, I would say safety, I would say edge, tight end 2, I still think interior defensive line could be a need. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to go with the local kid, and I'm going to go Junior Fehoko at edge. And then I'm going to switch it up one more time, and I'm going to go with the kind, and I don't know if he'll be here, but I'm gonna go with Darius Rush at cornerback and really throw myself off because these aren't guys that I typically take here. So switching it up. Darius Rush is about like 6'1, 6'2, good length. He's very aggressive corner. And again, he's coming from South Carolina. They kind of have that, they have that bloodline. And I think that he would be a good fit with the San Francisco 49ers. Just kind of how his play style is. So very, I like it. Again, not something that I would typically do, but I like that. I like going there. It's different. Um, and so we find ourselves over here at pick 155. So we were able to address offensive tackle with Jalen Duncan. We went Junior Fehoko at edge, um, and we went Darius Rush at corner. So this is about where I expected Daniel Scott to go. I took him in one of my mocks at in the 7th round, and in the description, I said I feel like Daniel Scott is more of a 5th round guy, which is why I've just taken a flyer on him. He was available. But another guy that I like that I still need to do more study on, but what initially has drawn me to him is Jason Taylor, the safety out of Oklahoma State. He has the range on tape. One of the things that I like to see, being able to go sideline to sideline, especially if you're playing middle field closed. So he's playing middle deep, and he has to be able to book it to the left, book it to the right to be able to pick up a receiver or something like that. You can see he's active. He had 80 tackles last year. He had 17 missed tackles, so tackling isn't his ultimate strong suit. But I am grabbing a guy like this, or would grab a guy like this more for coverage. I know I've seen Justin talking about Quindell. I haven't watched Quindell yet. So I've seen Justin talking about him, but maybe this is a good spot for a safety right here. I see a lot of people going for Zach Kuntz, and Zach Kuntz um, has definitely uh, he blew up the combine with his movement abilities and his size, 6'7", 255 pounds. Again, he's a really good athlete. Um, I'm a little skeptical, just because I've watched a lot of Old Dominion. Um, Actually, Old Dominion tape is probably the most tape that I've watched because I've watched. I think I'm like on. I'm either on 4 or 5 games of Saldivari because I wanted to make Chris. I wanted to be really sure that Saldiveri, I was accurate on Saldiveri and not just, irrational hype like I can do sometimes. So I've watched a lot of Old Dominion, and while I was watching Old Dominion, I knew Zach Kuntz was there, and I knew he's a Penn State transfer. I knew the size. He did not stand out very much on that tape. Partly due to they had some low key atrocious quarterback play. But although the traits are there, I don't know. I'm kind of scared by the lack of production that he has. Again, you can see nothing in 2020. He only had um he had decent production in 2021. 692 yards, 5 touchdowns. Old Dominion, he only played 5 games. Targeted 28 times with 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, but I don't know. I might try to push tight end another pick or two and try to go somewhere else. So again, I'm still looking for a safety. You have some pretty quality safeties here. Safety. Um Obviously tight end. I'm still interested in edge and D line because I don't think the 49ers can have enough of that. And I might go back to the O line as well, but potentially a little bit later. So, um, like I said, I think Zach can do it. Not that he can't do it. I'm tempering my expectation just a little bit, just a little bit. And again, Old Dominion, I don't think was the best setup for Zach. So I admittedly will definitely say that. But I think I can go tight end maybe around 173 and still get a guy that I like. I'm gonna try at least. I'm gonna try. So here I'm looking at safety. I'm looking at edge. Honestly, out of these safeties that are left, I do think Daniel Scott could be a quality player. When you look at Cal doesn't excite really anyone with anything that they do, considering they play in my backyard and I'm a fan of Cal. But I do think Daniel Scott has the athletic traits to be able to play at the next level, can play that kind of single high, deep safety and be effective. So I'm going to go Daniel Scott here. Taking him where he should go, in my opinion. So the board kind of resets here a little bit, and this this draft's going okay. Again, it's a new board, so I'm not ultra like used to the difference of where everyone's kind of shifted up and down, but overall I'm not terribly mad at it. So the San Francisco 49ers, uh we've been able to attack. We want safety with Scott out of Cal. We want Jalen Duncan tackle, Viliami, aka Junior Fehoko at edge, Darius Rush out of South Carolina at cornerback, and we also get a safety. So a lot of the main holes have been filled for the most part, but I think at this stage in the game, you start to just try to take some of the best guys available. And so I'm going to continue to push on tight end because there's a guy that I really like that I want to get, and I want to get him at the right value. And we're going to see if I can get him there. Henry To'o is a guy that I like. I think you could slot him in. He could be someone that can step in and be a guy that could fill that Aziz Al-Shaair role, could be an instant, uh, I don't know, I wouldn't say impact player on as a starter, but impact player on special teams. I definitely think that could be an option. The San Francisco 49ers could go quarterback. I remember Jordan Elliott reported that DTR met with the San Francisco 49ers formerly at the combine, so they're poking around kind of these late round quarterbacks. I don't know. Clayton Tune is a guy that I like. I liked watching Clayton Tune. I also listened to Clayton Tune. I can't remember. I don't think he met with the 49ers, but I did enjoy kind of talking to him. And he kind of mentioned Brock Purdy and like the success that Brock Purdy's had. I mean, talk about consistent 15 to 10 touchdown interception ratio, 30 to 10 touchdown to interception ratio, 40 to 10 touchdown to interception ratio. Um, he feels pretty consistent. But I don't know if the San Francisco 49ers are going to take a quarterback right here. It would be interesting. I would be open to it because the 49ers are going to need 4 quarterbacks in training camp. The hope is Brock Purdy will be one of those 4, and you're going to need potentially draft another quarterback. But if you draft Clayton Tune and you cut him, does he make it to the practice squad? That I'm glad I caught that my mic just went out because I was off screen. I could have literally been talking while my mic cut out. That would have been no good. So I still think it's a little early for quarterback. I think you can grab solid quarterbacks here. I mean, even at Stenson Bennett available, who could be. I mean, you have a cluster of 3 guys still available, but the problem with this cluster of 3 is I don't know if any of these 3 are making it back around to the practice squad. And so I think that has to be part of the thought process. So I can't take a quarterback here, even though I would. I would take Clayton Tune. I would take DTR. If I had to rank them, I'd probably go Tune, DTR, Bennett. But I still think all 3 of those guys could have somewhat decent careers in the NFL. I don't think they're day one starters, but I think there is a potential that they could get their way onto the field and actually not be too bad. Cam Jones is one of my favorite interviews at the combine. Converted safety to linebacker, 3-year captain, one of the only 3-year captains or 3-time captains at in Indiana State or Indiana history. He's a guy that I really like. I don't know if I'm ready. I could take a linebacker here. Again, you got Toa Toa, you got Cam Jones, 2 linebackers that I really like. But to be honest, I like Jalen Duncan. And I like my selection of Jalen Duncan, but I also want some versatility. And so I'm going to attack the versatility here. I'm going to go ahead and get my guy. The 49ers have brought in Antonio Mafe, and he is only an interior offensive lineman. You know what? I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. So we got the tackle. Now, I think the 49ers are transitioning into having more power offensive linemen because when you look at uh, Feliciano, you look at Banks, you kind of look at Burford, they're bigger, stronger, kind of more mauling type of offensive lineman than the 49ers have typically had in the past. And so Antonio Mafe being a guy that has been in on a workout, he's a nasty offensive lineman. When you hear that term, he has that dog in him. He's got that dog in him. So I wonder if he could play any center at all. But really, what it comes down to for me is Mafe and Daniels. The reason I want to take Daniels because Daniels made had all conference honors at right tackle, left tackle, and guard uh, in the Pac-12. He reminds me a lot of Spencer Burford in regards to good body, good feet, good strength, a little raw, but baseline traits are there. So I'm just gonna stick with my gut. Honestly, I've taken him here before. I'm gonna take him again. Braden Daniels. I like him a lot. So I'm going Braden Daniels. And I'm getting a guy who has both interior and uh, outside versatility at center guard or tackle. And again, my biggest thing with having this many picks is why not stock up on offensive linemen? What just get as many as you can. Um, who knows how the 49ers feel about Jalen Moore at this point? Um, so just get as many as you can. You never know when one's going to go down. So that's where I'm at here with that particular option. Ooh, this is going to be a tough one because this is the tight end that I want. I want Payne Durham. I want him here at this spot, 6'6", 253. He has great hands. He's a phenomenal receiving tight end. He catches pretty much anything that you throw at him. So the 49ers need to upgrade at tight end too. He kind of reminds me of Ross Dwelly from an athletic traits profile, which I know is not going to excite anyone, but I think he has the ability to do it in the run game and as a pass catcher, where Dwelly just really fell off as a run blocker. I think Payne can get better. I think his baseline is solid, and I think he could be an upgrade as a potential tight end 2 option. So it will be really interesting to see. Mekhi Blackman still being here is really tempting me, though. The fact that Mekhi is still available, Toa is still available, Tune's still available. There's a lot. Jones, there's a lot of good players here. Uh, we're gonna see how this plays out. I kind of want to go. I kind of want to go Payne here because I think he might be one of the last. Wiley Payne, I like a lot. I haven't watched enough of Mallory. Mallory. I don't know why I have such a hard time with his name. Latu's a guy that the 49ers brought in. Brenton Strange, there's actually pretty decent tight ends left. Here. So maybe I do punt on tight end because there are other solid options. Maybe. I mean, if Blackman is still here, I don't think he would be here at all. But if he's still here, I think I got to go there. I'm going Mekhi Blackman. Bring the Oh, look where Payne Durham goes. He went right in front of me. The Commanders swooped. They swooped. That's the worst. See, you take those gambles, you're like, might be able to get him back around. Almost got him back around. He got taken right in front of me. I would have liked Payne Durham here. I'm gonna go with the guy that they brought in recently. 6'4", 242, coming out of the Alabama program. He's tasked to have to block quite a bit. And he is a pretty solid pass catcher. I still need to do more of a deep study on him. But you also got Brenton Strange. I know, I think it was like Steph Sanchez has been pretty high on him. I haven't watched a whole lot of him yet, but grades look nice. So it's probably out of these guys right here. This is Jason Aponte's guy. I haven't watched him a whole lot, so I don't know too much about him either. So I might have to go Latu here for the culture. For did Lonnie Phillips go? Yeah, he did. So Isaiah Land, I like him as a potential kind of late round target. Who else? Man, my allergies are terrible. Absolutely terrible. I hope you guys don't have to suffer with allergies because it is not fun. All right, let's cook through this thing. I'm gonna grab a tight end. I need a tight end. I'm just gonna go Latu. I'm gonna go. Oh dang, he went. I was gonna take Javarius Owens at safety. He's a guy that I like. I'm gonna mess around. I'm gonna go. It's not a third round. It's not a. I wish I had a napkin. I don't have one around me. I don't have one. I'm gonna go Mohammed Ibrahim, running back. He is a production freak. 20 touchdowns last year. 1,600 over 1,600 rushing yards on 320 attempts. He's a more physical type back, but he's still smaller, 5'8". I think it would be a fun flyer for him. Just something a little different. Demario Douglas getting no love in the rankings. One of my draft crushes. I love that guy. So add a little depth to the D line. Cameron Young right here. He's all right. 6'3", 304 pounds. Had a sack last year, 16 hurries. He's going to be an interior guy. Could definitely add some help to the rotation for sure. But you know what? We haven't gone wide receiver yet. They really look at how far they dropped Andre, which was crazy to me. They dropped this guy crazy far. you could see his ADP where he was going. They dropped him back almost like 100 and all that stuff. So that's crazy. But let's see. I'm gonna go right here with this particular pick. Let's go with keep coming back to the old flames. Dude, Andre at that value, crazy. Crazy good. There's still a lot of like Jordan Howden has met with the 49ers, Stills met with the 49ers. Um Rajon Wright is going to be at the 49ers local pro day tomorrow. um Still got your kickers. So let's see. Let's go. I'm gonna go Cam Young. I'm gonna grab my quarterback. This is my guy, Tyson Baggant. I like him a lot. D2 kid. Broke a bunch of records. D2. One of the more I would say the more consistent throwers at the NFL Combine is where he stood out to me. He seems like a developmental guy that you could stick on the practice squad and let him cook a little bit. Is he available? Dejan, where is he? I will absolutely take him for the culture. Where is he? I He wasn't on here before, right? Did PFF add him? Or did I pass him? But 49ers could also definitely go kicker here. Could go kicker. I don't see him. Let's spell his name right. They added him. Oh, it's DES. Huh. Not seen him. But he's a guy that I need to look into. And is it time to go Chad? Go Chad the GOAT? Do we go Chad the GOAT just to round it out? Why not? I still think Chad's the GOAT. I don't think Moody's gonna be there. But we've already taken Chad. I don't want to take Chad. I do kind of want to go DeMario and I do want to go Hunter, but I've taken both of those guys before. I've taken Andre before. I've taken Alex before. All guys that I like. I mean, dude, if he's here, I don't think this is where he goes, but I'm going to take him here. I think I'm not going to look. I think this is like a C minus. Oh, a B. They hated the junior Fehoko pick. They absolutely hated the junior Fehoko pick. It was a bit of out of character for me to take Junior here. I don't think I've ever taken him here. So, but again, like I said, I wanted Byron, but I've already taken Byron here. Keon White, I don't think is going to be there in the third. But if he was, I would take Keon. So I switched it up a little bit. And I also switched it up by going Darius Rush. I'd never taken him there. So we took Darius Rush in the third, Daniel Scott, to come in and play kind of that single high safety role. He's going to be a special teamer. 5th round value, I think, is absolutely fair for Daniel Scott. Braden Daniels in the 5th round, again, kind of like Spencer Burford 2.0. Might profile as a guard, but he can play tackle as well. And you get Mekhi Blackman in the 5th. Feels like great value. Latu in the 6th. I'm okay with it. Ibrahim, you could go somewhere else, but it's a 7th round pick. Figured why not? Cameron Young, add some depth to the interior defensive line. Get that practice squad quarterback in Tyson, who I do like, and then you grab Jordan Howden. So, B-. I'd probably give it a C. C-. Wasn't one of my best drafts. Definitely wasn't. But hey, like I said, it's the new rankings. I haven't really messed with them all that much. But it's okay. What I really do anticipate, though, is that with us being 3 weeks away from the NFL draft, I think this is going to pick up. Like, I'm going to be doing a lot more mocks. I'm going to be doing a lot more studying because I'm about sick of these quarterback trade rumors. To be honest, and it's time to get to work. Time to get to work. Smash that like button if you haven't already. But it's time to break down some draft picks. It's time. It is time. You've got to try NFL mock draft database board. It's more accurate than PFN. Ooh. All right. I'll definitely check that out. I need to do other mock draft simulators because it starts to get stagnant after a while. So I agree. Draft Marte Mapu, probably destroying his name. In the next draft you do, I've actually taken him a couple times in some of the other mocks that I've done. I'm going to actually publish a mock. This is just, again, kind of trying to switch it up a little bit and all that type of stuff. But I will hopefully be dropping a new mock here pretty soon. But shout out to all you guys for tapping in. Appreciate you. And we'll be posting more content here pretty soon. Shout out to the Sourdough Squad. Appreciate you guys. I'm out of here. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it.